Hey y'all, my name is Bill Ferriter and it's time for another 10-minute team tip. Now, those of you who know me know that my daughter Reese is my whole entire world. I love her more than anything. And it was a big week in our house. Reese finished middle school. Her last day of 8th grade was on Friday. How exciting is that, right? And she blew up my phone about halfway through the day because she had gotten an art award at the Honors Assembly for the 8th grade students. It's pretty cool, right? So go Reese. She's passionate about her art, that's for sure. She spent tons of time in the ceramics room and in the drawing room over the course of the quarter. So when she came home and I was talking to her about her award, I told her how proud I was of her and how much I loved her, and I asked her how it felt to receive her reward. And she said something really interesting to me. Here was Reese's take. Are you ready? She told me that honors assemblies, they're really kind of fun because you get to see your friends get awards, but it's kind of disheartening when you never get one. Oh, it got me right in the feels, man. Here's why Reese said that. In her entire school career, Reese has never been the super academically successful kid. She's not the one that's on the honor roll all the time. She's not the one that teachers are automatically drawn to. She's wonderful, she's terrific, she's creative, she's amazing, but she's not traditionally successful in school. She's not the one that's like putting 200% into every assignment. Or the 200% that she puts into an assignment doesn't quite look like the 200% that goes into the assignments that are done by the more traditionally successful students in school. As a result, she's never really been recognized or even really wholly appreciated by all of her teachers. Now, she's come across many fantastic teachers in her day who loved her to death. Mr. Zimmerman, still remember you. Miss Bennett, thank you so much. Right? So there are Mr. Velarde, you're amazing. Miss Mondora, terrific times 10. You've all appreciated my kid. But generally speaking, when you think about teachers, they don't get drawn to my student immediately because she's not the one that's blowing them away with her work products. It isn't that she can't do it. It's just that her work products don't look quite the same as the work products of the kids who we would define as traditionally successful. As a result, it's 8th grade and she's never received an award from a teacher at an assembly before. It's crazy, isn't it, that you can go that long and never really be fully recognized by a teacher at an assembly? In fact, to Reese, it's disheartening. And we need to wrestle with whether or not we're okay with our students feeling disheartened by the fact that they never receive awards at assemblies. I know that when I was teaching, remember 29 years of experience, and we were picking out awards, one of the things that my team always liked to do is ask ourselves these 4 questions. Are the same students being recognized again and again by teacher after teacher, year after year? If so, we might want to rethink the way that we choose our awards. Because it's great to recognize accomplishment, but when recognizing accomplishment means overlooking the accomplishments of other students, maybe it's time to rethink how we give awards. Or maybe we need to rethink whether or not the students who are receiving our awards are the ones who are always traditionally successful in schools, the ones who come from solid families, or the ones who always come extra prepared, or the ones who are super mature from the moment they walk through our door. Maybe we need to start recognizing other forms of success in our honors assemblies. I like the 3rd bullet, right? Do the students who struggle in your classrooms, are they ever recognized in your awards assemblies? Because if they're not, your rewards assemblies or your honors assemblies might be reinforcing the notion that students just can't succeed in school. Kids like me aren't going to be successful. And if that's the case, I'm not sure that your awards assembly is accomplishing what you really want it to do. Last but not least, an easy thing to think about is, do your honors represent or emphasize progress or final results? Are you only giving out the all-A honor roll? Because that's final results, right? But what about the kids who've made tons of progress during the course of your quarter? How are they recognized in your assembly? My team found that if we thought through those questions while we were choosing students for awards, a greater number of kids would be recognized. Now, I'll give you 2 final tips about how you can change your honors assembly. The coolest thing I ever did is an idea that I think I stole from Chris Weger, who's out in British Columbia. He writes extensively about honors assemblies. And one of the things that we started to do is instead of just giving honor roll certificates, we started to give on-a-roll certificates to our students. So we would ask them what they deserve to be recognized for. What was their greatest accomplishment during the course of the quarter? Was it earning a B in math or even maybe a C in math because that's a hard subject for them and they leaned in and invested? Was it learning a new bit on a musical instrument? Was it playing in a football game because they had never been on a football team before and they had made it through practices? We would ask our students, what did you deserve to be recognized for? What was your main accomplishment this year? And then every student would get an on-a-roll certificate. And we would break them into categories. Students who had learned something outside of our classroom, students who had put extra effort into a particular assignment and been successful on it. It's kind of cool, right? The reason that it matters is because we want to remind students that you can identify an area that you want to improve in. You can take steps towards that improvement. And when we see that those steps have led to success, we're going to celebrate you too, because progress deserves to be recognized and celebrated. It was an easy change to ensure that no student felt disheartened because they always saw their friends getting awards that they weren't ever able to get. Another idea that I'll tell you way more about in the future is my favorite middle school in the world is Washington Middle School, El Dorado, Arkansas. Hey guys. They've started to do something this year that I love. We brainstormed this together, Bethany Hale, the principal, and I. We decided that we were going to identify what we called Cowbell Standards, the very most important standards that there were inside of a particular unit. And we wanted both teachers and students to pursue that standard with the same enthusiasm that you can see in this particular picture. We wanted the teachers and the students to feel as passionate about their cowbell standard as this guy does about his cowbell, right? Because the world needs more cowbell. Over the course of the quarter, teachers would keep track of the percentage of students who had achieved a cowbell standard. And the non-negotiable was 100% of the kids had to reach or achieve or master the cowbell standard. The teachers knew that and would reinvest over and over and over again, developing plans for intervention, finding special education teachers to touch base with, to find ways to modify assignments, looking for principals to get on the students who were absent from class. And it was only once all the students had mastered the cowbell standard that a cowbell ceremony would happen in a classroom. Principal and a bunch of the other instructional assistants would roll in with cowbells and with a boombox, play the cowbell, play the boombox, celebrate the fact that 100% of the students had achieved mastery on the cowbell standard. At which point each individual student got a cowbell sticker that went on the back of their computer, and you could see that in the very first image. So over the course of the year, a student's computer started to get covered with cowbell standards. What's the point here? Well, Bethany and her teachers had decided that every student needed to master the standards, and this was proof that you could master it too. Had a huge impact on the students. Why would I quit working towards mastery if I know that I've achieved mastery lots of other times before? Y'all with me? But what I like the best is at the end of the year, during their Honors Assembly, Bethany and her team acknowledged all students for all of the cowbell standards that they had achieved during the course of the year. So each student got a certificate that listed out, here's the cowbell standards that you mastered this year. Do you see why that matters? Now it's not just a small handful of students that is being recognized. Instead, all students are being recognized. And in this case, they're being recognized for academic success. That's worth wrestling with. Not all students see themselves as academically successful, and they deserve to. Every kid should believe that they're a capable, competent learner and that their efforts are worthy of recognition. If their efforts are worthy of recognition, they're more likely to invest the next time. Well, there you go. That's the end of my 10-minute team tip for today. What I want you to do is I want you to rethink next year how you acknowledge students for their success in their classrooms. And if traditionally successful students are the only ones being recognized, maybe consider honor roll certificates, or maybe use cowbell standards to acknowledge the accomplishments of every student during the course of your quarter. All right, hope that helps. Talk to you more next time.